Your other left. Kiss my hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our services, if we can please kindly turn off all cell phones or electronic devices, or please place them on silent. Thank you.
Mizmor leDavid, Hashem rolo exar, benot eshet yar b'tzeini, amanei menuchat yinacheni. Nafshi yishover, yinacheni b'magalei tzedek, b'magalei tzedek, magalei tzedek, leman shemo. I'm going to continue this prayer you are familiar with in English. Please follow along. A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Birth is a beginning, and death a destination. And life is a journey from childhood to maturity, from youth to age, from innocence to awareness, and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion, and then perhaps back to wisdom, from weakness to strength, from strength to weakness, and often back again to better health, we hope. We pray all the time for better health. We go from offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, pain to compassion, grief to understanding, from fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat, until looking backwards or ahead. We see that victory lies not at some point along the way, but having made the journey. step by step, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning and death is a destination, and life is a journey, a sacred journey to life everlasting. Rabbi Alvin Fine. I would like to say it's a good afternoon, but we thank you very much for being here on this most difficult day for all of you and for me as well. All of us who had the privilege to know love have a special bond with Barb Lisser. A beautiful, wonderful, kind, selfless, caring, and courageous woman who met so many challenges and faced them head on and overcame them for periods of time so she could still enjoy the quality of life. She went through countless treatments and surgeries and never complained, never said, "Why me?" But sadly, this past Friday, the 18th of March, Barb lost her final battle after just turning 70 on the 4th of January. We are here today in abundance and on live streaming. Thank you for that. Welcome all who have come to visit with Barb, blessing her life, comforting her family, her beloved husband, Abe, his family, Marcia and Joe Greer, Bobby Polis, Barb's sister, Linda, and husband, Steve Stein, and their family, niece, Nikki, and nephew, Darren, and their families, sons, Michael and Sean, and we remember Barb's parents of blessed memory, Sid and Doris Fleishman. Barbara, or Barb as we knew her, grew up in the Philadelphia area called Feltonville and graduated from Omni High. She worked as a benefit authorizer for the Social Security Administration for 20 years as a part-time receptionist and cashier for Haircut 100, located in Voorhees, New Jersey. I'm sure many of you visited there. Barb loved this interaction with her friends, clients, and colleagues. She was a true people person. Her greatest joy came on February 7th, 1986. This was the day that she met her beloved husband, Abe. He would become her forever person. Exactly 1 year from that date that they met, they were married on February 7th, 1987. A true love at first sight. Barb was a selfless and caring person when it came to people she loved. She did whatever needed to be done when called upon. She never forgot people's birthdays, special anniversaries, other occasions. Cards and gifts were always purchased well in advance. It is related that Barb was a Florence Nightingale when it came to caring for her beloved parents, to whom she was utterly devoted. She visited with them regularly for many years, 3 and 4 times a week, until they passed on. Her fallopian tube cancer over 13 years ago was only the first of 5 times that she battled this horrible disease. She endured continuous surgeries, chemo treatments. She actively participated in Penn Medicine's oncology and clinical trials. We would like to thank all the people at Penn Medicine, all the amazing doctors and nurses that cared for her. Never once did Barb complain or asking why she was dealt a bad hand. When she was meant to live out her life in this manner, she just said, "So let it be." Never complaining for anything. She was brave and courageous in spite of suffering through all those challenging illnesses. Abe was a devoted husband to Barb throughout all their marriage and illnesses. Abe was with Barb until she took her last breath. Fortunately, we have these wonderful pieces of technology. As you know, Abe, he can talk. And so, rather than talk to him at 6 a.m., we have these ways of talking now. Our parents and grandparents didn't have this. These are from Abe. During the 36 years with Barb we were together, she was referred to as Miss QDF, better known as Quality Discount Furniture, which spanned over 3 decades. At times, Barb would help to do whatever it took to make the business a successful. Abe related all of that. He retired from the business in June of 2010, and a short time later, Barb was diagnosed with this horrible disease. Abe, part 2. Sorry, I could not sleep. It has to be mentioned of the furniture business was so successful, Barb also played a part in that. She knew all the employees. If you needed anything, call or text. I can't sleep. I'm so happy that you're going to be here today. I think this is a wonderful reunion, but I didn't want to meet like this. Strange things happen we can't explain. He wanted to also tell me that he loved Barb so much. Who didn't know that? Text 3 from Abe. Barb also had a bunch of nicknames such as Babs, Bobby, Baba, Babaloo, which her dad called her, and GLB. You all know what that stands for, right? Good looking Barb. And she was. If you haven't seen this beautiful photo somewhere, you know that face. It's unforgettable. She was all of that, but she was also very humble. She shied away from attention. Well, that was tough being with you, eh? She was down to earth, plain and simple, but when she walked into a room, you knew that she was there. Nothing but class and dignity all the way. Text number 4 from me. I'm sorry for this early morning and late entry. Barb deserves all this. She was the best. She brought the best out in me. She was my heart and soul. Text number 4 or 5. Barb Barb was a classy lady, never spoke about anyone in a negative manner, never complained about anything, and could, especially during her many years of radiation and chemotherapy, but didn't complain ever. She was amazing. Text number 6. I still can't sleep, Stu. I am just sitting here crying. Aren't we all doing that today with you, Abe? Text number 7. I want to confirm you got all my messages. And he told me who's going to speak. And he wanted me to share something with a very close friend, which I will do first, and then we have a few people that would like to say some words up here. Barb had a very close friend by the name of Robin Pilch, who I had the pleasure of knowing very well. Matter of fact, I met Barb before Abe. When she told me her name was Barbara Fleischman, I'm thinking your parents are either in the furniture business or they're making margarine. Little did I know I'm mentioning the furniture business, what was to come. Robin would like to say, Barbara and I met in 9th grade of Olney High. From there, our friendship began and lasted close to 60 years. Throughout all those years, we always stayed in touch, no matter where we were, what we were doing. Barb was always up for fun times and adventures. We were there for each other during the fun times and the many times that were not so much fun. I attended Barb and Abe's wedding. Hey, I was there too. In 1987, and will always remember how absolutely gorgeous Barbara looked and happy she was. Once again, we remained in touch and continued to always be there for one another. Once she got married, things changed. Uh-oh. But we still were always finding time for each other. Barbara always made sure to include me in family holiday dinners, birthday celebrations, Super Bowl parties. Been to a few of them too, Abe. And trips to Las Vegas. Whoa, what do they say about Las Vegas, right? What happens in Vegas stays there. One trip to Vegas, we will always stand out of my mind. Abe was busy gambling. Whoa! That can't be true. And Barb was playing the slots. Innocent stuff. But Barb hit for a nice sum of money. Afterwards, she wanted to go to the jewelry store and buy something extra special for herself. She purchased the most beautiful diamond necklace with her winnings. I will always cherish that time that we shared in Vegas and all of the memories that I have of her. I have always felt that after so many years of our rooted friendship, we've become more like family. Barb was definitely family to me. She was a dear friend and a sister. I know now that Barb is finally at peace and will be remembered and missed by all of us. Love, Robin. Thank you. This time, I'd like to call up brother-in-law and sister Marcia and Joe Greer.
Barb Lisser. What kind of person was Barb? She was to us the nicest, sweetest, kindest, and caring, beautiful woman known to all as good-looking Barb. Not only was Barb beautiful on the outside, but she had such an inner beauty that made you feel welcome whenever you were with her. Marcia reminded me of the story about Barb and Marcia going to a plastic surgeon's for a consultation. Not for Barb, for Marcia. Barb was interested in learning all about and what she could find out about plastic surgery. She was interested so much in it that she started her own plastic surgery fund from those big dollars she made at Haircut 100. Funny thing is, Barbara never needed it. She just had a beautiful face, beautiful skin, and it was never an issue. But she even did some research on having her eyebrows tattooed, but never had it done. But she convinced Marcia to have it first. Dancing was one of Barb's favorite things. Every time there was an affair with music, when music was playing, Barb was ready to dance. And of course, I volunteered to be her jitterbug partner. Barb was a great jitterbug dancer, boy. We also won a few contests along the way. We had a ball. Barbara was always a very charitable person. When I think about Barb's generosity, I can remember getting a phone call from Barb having me over her house to browse into Abe's closet. I called it Abe's haberdashery. You see, I would get these phone calls from Barb, and she would come over there and she'd be going through Abe's clothing and weeding everything out that wouldn't fit. Well, when they didn't fit Abe, then they fit me. You see, we both were growing. Well, we all know that Abe had the best suits, shirts, ties, and slacks. When Abe came home, he would always ask Barb, "Hey, what happened to my stuff?" She would look at Abe and she'd say, "If it doesn't fit, we must remove it." I got most of Abe's clothes, but I never got his shoes. I guess they still fit. There's a lot of things that Abe would want me to say about Barb. His emotions, however, are preventing him from doing that, so I want to say a few things that he would like to say. I asked Abe, what attracted you to Barb? How did you know that she was the one? Abe was first attracted by her outward beauty, and after several dates, he realized that she has such an inner beauty. She had an easy way about herself and was easy to get along with. Barb was just happy being with Abe. Whatever he wanted, she was good with it. They became soulmates, and Barb became the love of his life. Barb wasn't flashy at all. Even when Abe would shower her with gifts, especially jewelry. When Abe presented her with a fabulous piece of jewelry, Barb would cry and tell Abe, "I love you, Abe, but that's not me." Barb didn't have fancy clothes or expensive jewelry to be noticed. She didn't need any of that. She would light up a room with her own inner glow. Rest in peace, beautiful lady. Both Marcia and I love Barb so much and will miss her deeply. Thank you. And Marcia would like me, and Abe would like me to thank Clover for spending years with Barb and helping her in her time of need. Thank you, Clover. Anything else?
Beautiful words, thank you. Bobby Paulus, brother-in-law.
Before I read my poem, The Train of Life, I'd like to offer my condolences to Abe and Linda and the family here. Passing of Barb, what a beautiful soul. I'd also like to acknowledge that Clover was just mentioned. Clover spent 2 years with Barbara. Continuous care, loving her to death. The bond was unbelievable. I know how Clover loved her and cared for her for 2 years. Clover knows so much about Barb and always made her happy, always made her smile. There was always a gracious smile. And Clover, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's hard to believe that a half a century has gone by. A lot of people I haven't seen. I know the Lisser family for 50 years. It seems like it's yesterday. I remember when Abe was 30 years old, his 30th birthday party, on Conshohocken Avenue in Philadelphia, all of the baseball team came. He was a great athlete, believe it or not. I wonder if he can play ball today. Then came the love of his life, Cinderella Barb. Over the past 13 years of her life, we've heard battled cancer, stroke, dementia, operation after operation. I can always say that Barb never complained. It's hard to believe, it's mentioned so many times. She always had that beautiful smile. She loved her mom and dad. I know she was there many times, sit and dar. It's also hard to believe that her father, many, many years ago, people don't realize, worked for me. He drove cars for me. Now let's get on to the train of life that we're all on. This is a poem that's been written many years ago, an unknown author. At birth, we board a train. We meet our parents, sit and dar. We believe we'll always travel by our side, but however, some of our stations and parents will step down from the train, leaving us on a journey alone. As time goes by, our parents will board the train and they will be significant. Siblings, Linda, board the train. Friends, Robin, Michelle, Peggy, 3 Barbers, and then your life, your children, and many others. Some will step down and leave a permanent vacuum. Others will go so unnoticed that we don't realize they vacated the seats. The train ride will be full of joy, sorrow, fantasy, expectations, hello, goodbyes, and farewells. A successful ride requires having a good relationship with all the partners. We give our best to ourselves. The mystery to everyone is that we will not know which station we will step down, so we must live the best way. Love, forgive, offer the best of who we are. It's important to do this because when the time comes for us to step down and leave our seat empty, we should leave behind beautiful memories, which Barbara did. For those who will continue to travel on this train of life, I wish you a joyful journey on the train of life. Reap success, give lots of love. More importantly, thank God for the journey. Lastly, I thank you for being one of the passengers on my train, the train of life. Thank you.
Beautiful memory shared. I actually have a 10th text from Eve. My dear manager, my beautiful wife Marcy, on the second row, was doing all my navigating while I was driving, and she said, I got another text from Abe. Did you see all my texts? I did not sleep. Yes, Stu is prepared. He will go over the stuff with you when he gets there. Abe says, okay. And he told me that Robin's stuff is coming, and I checked it out. And lastly, he said, we shared plenty of good times together. Of course. One good time I will never forget. February 7th, 1987. We went to the Barclay Hotel where my sister was the catering director. She helped coordinate the whole wedding. I actually had the privilege to do a little music. Many of you may have been there. If you weren't there, I'm going to bring you back to February 7th, 1987. You can close your eyes and remember when Abe and Barb took the dance floor for the first time as husband and wife. Arlene, you got a beautiful gift from Barb. Look at that bangle that they brought you back from their honeymoon for doing such a great job. I believe in you and me. I believe that we will be in love eternally. For as far as I can see, you will always be the one for me. Oh, yes, you will. I believe in dreams again. I believe that love will never end. Like the river finds the sea, I was lost, but now I'm free. I believe in you and me. I will never leave your side. I will never hurt your pride. When all the chips are down, I will always be around, just to be right where you are. My love, oh, I love you, girl. I will never leave you out. I will always take you in to places you have never been. I was lost, but now I'm free. I believe in you and me. Maybe I'm a fool to feel the way I do, but I would play the fool forever, just to be with you forever. I believe in miracles. Your love was a miracle. And baby, you're a dream come true. I was lost, but now I'm free. I believe in you and me. I was lost, but now I'm free, girl. I believe in you and me. First dances don't always go as difficult as that one. From the spirit of Barbara, Fern, Lisser. I never knew her middle name was Fern. I did all those cute names and Fern was at the end. Robin, Randy, Andy, Mandy, Sandy, Candy, and Fern. From the spirit of Barbara, Fern, Lisser. Don't grieve for me, for now I'm free. I'm following the path God laid for me. I took God's hand when I heard God call. I turned my back and left it all. I could not stay another day to laugh, to love, to work or play. Tasks left undone must stay that way. I found my place at the close of day. If my passing has left a void, then try to fill it with remembered joy. A friendship shared, a laugh, a kiss. Ah, yes, all these things too will I miss. Be not burdened with the times of sorrow. I wish you the sunshine of tomorrow. My life has been full. I've sacred much. Good friends and family, good times, a loved one's touch. Perhaps my time seemed all too brief. Don't lengthen it now with undue grief. Lift up your heart and share with me. God wanted me now. God set me free. Four times a year, we have a service in our Jewish heritage. It's called Yizkor. It means to remember. We remember parents of blessed memory, siblings, God forbid a child, spouses, and the 6 million who we lost in the Holocaust, and now we have such tragedy going on in Ukraine. And 4 times a year we do this prayer. We have a prayer in that service, and it's called, "We Remember Them." I want to customize that prayer for Barb today as we remember her. So after each line that I read in this prayer, I would like you to respond back to me, "We remember her." At the rising of the sun and at its going down, we remember her. At the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember her. At the opening of the buds and rebirth of spring, we remember her. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember her. At the beginning of each year and when it ends, we remember her. When we're weary and need of strength, we remember her. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember her. When we have joy to crave to share, we remember her. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember her. When we have achievements that are based on so many of hers, we remember her. As long as we live, Barbara Fern Lisser too will live, as we will always remember her. At this time, I would like to mention, if anybody would like to make a contribution in Barb's memory, it has been selected to the Penn Ovarian Cancer Research Fund or a charity of your choice. The entombment in Montefiore Cemetery will be following this, and I'm sure there are directions. The address of Montefiore Cemetery is 600 Church Road, Jenkintown, PA, 19046. At this time, if it's not uncomfortable for you to rise, we are going to have a memorial prayer. El Mole Rachamim, Shochei B'Meramim, Amatzei Menucha Nuchana Kanfei Hashkina, B'Malot Kedoshim Utzurim Kitzohar Harakia Mazerim, Et Nishma Bracha bat Doris and Sid Fleischman, Shakacha Leolamo ba Gan Eden, Techet Menuchata, Ana Ba'arachamim, Atzureda B'Tzeter Kenafecha Leolamim, Utzurur B'Tzurur Chachayim et Nishmata, Adonai Chunalacha V'Nuach B'Shalom, Amishkava V'Nomar Amen. Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure. To the soul of Barbara Fern Lisser, who has gone to her eternal home, Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May her soul be bound up in the bond of life, and may she always rest in peace. And we all say, Amen. May be seated. The people from Platt at this time will be coming up and calling the pallbearers.
Will the pallbearers please step to the center aisle? And I'll ask that we'll rise once more, please.
She's rooted in strength and dignity and cheerfully faces whatever may come.